often leading individuals to unconsciously fulfill their own negative expectations. Imagine a person who was once told they were not creative. If they internalized this belief, they might never explore artistic endeavors, assuming failure before they even begin. However, if they challenge that belief, they might discover an untapped passion for writing, painting, or music. The simple act of reframing, I'm not creative to, I am learning to be more creative, shifts the narrative from one of limitation to one of possibility. This shift in mindset is what enables people to break free from self-imposed restrictions and step into their full potential. Practicing mindfulness, adaptability, and gratitude helps sustain a positive outlook even in the face of adversity. Mindfulness allows individuals to become aware of their thoughts without being controlled by them. A person experiencing anxiety about the future might habitually dwell on worst-case scenarios, allowing fear to dictate their actions. However, through mindfulness, they can observe these thoughts, recognize them as temporary, and redirect their focus to the present moment. Adaptability is another crucial factor. Life is constantly changing, and those who resist change often suffer the most. Someone who loses their job may initially panic, but an adaptable mindset enables them to see the situation as an opportunity to explore a new career path or develop additional skills. Gratitude further strengthens this perspective shift. Instead of fixating on what is lacking, a person who practices gratitude focuses on what is already present. A struggling entrepreneur may feel discouraged by financial setbacks, but by recognizing the progress they have made and the support they have, they cultivate the resilience needed to push forward. Shifting perspective is a lifelong practice, one that requires conscious effort but yields profound rewards. When individuals learn to reframe setbacks, develop empathy, challenge limiting beliefs, and cultivate mindfulness, adaptability, and gratitude, they open themselves to a richer, more fulfilling life. They stop seeing life as something happening to them and start recognizing their role in shaping their experiences. With every shift in perspective, new possibilities emerge, and what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Breaking free from blame is a fundamental step in reclaiming control over one's life. It begins with the realization that as long as blame is directed outward, personal power remains restricted. Many individuals hold on to a victim mindset, believing that their circumstances, failures, or disappointments are the result of external forces beyond their control. While it is true that external events shape experiences, the ultimate determinant of personal growth is how one responds. A person who blames an unfair workplace for their lack of career advancement remains stuck in resentment, unable to see the choices available to them. However, someone who embraces accountability recognizes that they have options, they can develop new skills, seek opportunities elsewhere, or improve their approach to workplace challenges. The moment blame is replaced with ownership, the ability to shape one's future is restored. Letting go of victimhood requires self-awareness and a willingness to acknowledge one's role in situations. Many people instinctively avoid introspection because it can be uncomfortable to face personal shortcomings. However, self-awareness is not about self-judgment. It is about understanding patterns of behavior and how they contribute to outcomes. Consider an individual who repeatedly experiences conflicts in relationships. If they continuously blame their partners for every failed connection, they remain blind to their own role in the dynamic. But if they take a step back and assess their communication style, emotional triggers, or expectations, they gain insight into how they might be contributing to the conflict. This awareness is empowering because it presents an opportunity for change. Growth begins when the focus shifts from what others have done wrong to what can be improved within oneself. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in breaking free from blame, not only toward others, but also toward oneself. Holding on to resentment, whether toward people or past events, creates an emotional burden that hinders progress. A person who was betrayed by a friend may carry anger and distrust into new relationships, unconsciously allowing past pain to shape future interactions. However, by choosing to forgive, not as a way of excusing the betrayal, but as a way of releasing the emotional weight, they free themselves from the hold of the past. Equally important is self-forgiveness. Many people blame themselves for past mistakes, living with guilt and regret that prevent them from moving forward. A parent who was once absent from their child's life due to personal struggles might carry deep shame, believing they can never repair the relationship. However, if they choose self-forgiveness, they can focus on what can be done now rather than being paralyzed by the past. Forgiveness is a gift that unchains individuals from cycles of resentment and self-condemnation, allowing them to move forward with clarity and peace. Setting boundaries is another essential step in breaking free from blame. Without clear boundaries, individuals often find themselves feeling drained, manipulated, or taken advantage of, leading to feelings of helplessness and resentment. Someone who constantly overextends themselves to meet the demands of others may eventually feel unappreciated or exploited. Instead of blaming others for taking too much, they can recognize their role in failing to set limits. Establishing boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-respect. A person who learns to say no when necessary fosters healthier relationships because they operate from a place of authenticity rather than obligation. Effective communication is key in this process. Expressing needs, expectations, and limitations openly prevents misunderstandings and creates mutual respect in relationships. When individuals communicate assertively instead of reactively, they shift from a mindset of blame to one of proactive self-advocacy. Using setbacks as stepping stones for growth rather than sources of resentment is a crucial perspective shift. Life is filled with unexpected disappointments, but dwelling in resentment only reinforces powerlessness. Consider an entrepreneur who experiences business failure. They could easily blame external factors, the economy, investors, or competitors. However, those who succeed in the long run are the ones who analyze their mistakes, extract valuable lessons, and apply them to their next endeavor. Every setback carries an opportunity for learning, but that opportunity is only accessible when blame is replaced with reflection. The same applies to personal relationships, career struggles, and personal growth. A person who views rejection as proof of inadequacy will avoid taking risks, but one who sees rejection as a redirection will continue striving toward success. Perspective determines whether setbacks